some words that you've written in text messages.
Yes.
Can you please tell the jury a little bit about how you write?
Certainly. When I was young, when I was about 12 years old, my elder brother, Danny, walked into my room and ripped the Peter Frampton record off my record player, threw it across the room, and said, "You gotta stop listening to this stuff," and he put this record on, and it started, and I'd never heard anything like it. It was called Astral Weeks by Van Morrison. And so I'm a kid, 12 years old. So my brother turned me on to Van Morrison, then he turned me on to soundtracks like Clockwork Orange or Last Tango in Paris. He turned me on to books by Jack Kerouac. He turned me on to books by Ginsberg, Philip K. Dick. Salinger. The whole James Joyce, the whole Hemingway, the whole thing. So I became very interested in vocabulary and the unique voices of these writers. And then I started reading people like Tom Robbins and Hunter S. Thompson, and then ended up becoming very close friends with Hunter Thompson for the last 10, 12 years of his life. And Hunter's writing, of course, because of the amount of time I spent with him, it has influenced my writing greatly. Hunter was known for inventing a thing called gonzo journalism, which is it's the author putting himself in the situation, as opposed to writing it from the author's point of view. He writes it with him in it, and there are great embellishments, and embellishments are great sort of ways that he would twist things and express his feelings, and so he became a huge hero, of course, to me, and a great friend. In my texts and in my emails, or sometimes just even in my writing, you take the subject and you try to express it in your own vernacular, and in that, for example, with the text messages that I apologize that everyone's had to experience. I am ashamed of some of the references made. I'm embarrassed that at the time, the heat of the moment, the heat of the pain that I was feeling, went to dark places. There is no, if you're writing, there is no set place that you have to stay in. You can travel, and sometimes pain has to be dealt with humor, and sometimes very dark humor. I grew up watching Monty Python, so yes, it can tend to get into dark humor. It can tend to get words are used that for emphasis, and words are used to express what you're feeling at the time, and it's just like growing up. You learn from those mistakes, you learn from those things, and you move forward, and that's how you start to understand your own vernacular and what's important, what's necessary and what's not necessary. tend to be quite expressive in my writing, and after after the unfortunate words of Ms. Hurd made their way into my heart and my head. Those are two very opposing things. So you're trying to find the best way to express something to a friend. Sometimes you're exaggerating, something that you've done, just to make it sound, just to make him understand that, I'm on planet question mark here. I don't know what's going on, but I know I'm in this situation, and I know that it cannot continue.